It was a blistering July afternoon in Savannah, the kind where the Georgia sun scorches everything, turning my backyard pool into a slice of heaven. I'm James Carter, a 47-year-old respiratory therapist at Mercer Hospital, fresh off a morning shift and steeling myself for a 12-hour night shift at 7 p.m. My kids, Jaden, 12, Zoe, 10, and little Eli, 8, had been pleading to swim all week. "Dad, it's so hot." "You promised," Zoe begged as I dashed out at 5 a.m. I had promised, but sleep was crucial before my next shift. Then my brother Darius, an Army Ranger on leave from Fort Stewart, called, offering to watch the kids. "Man, you're a lifesaver," I told him. Darius's calm, honed in 4 Afghanistan tours, made him ideal to supervise while I crashed. Our Cedar Grove neighborhood home, a 3-bedroom colonial with a new pool, was the reward of 15 years of grinding, double shifts, smart investments. My wife, Nia, and I bought it 2 years ago, thrilled despite the mostly white neighborhood's occasional side eyes, nervous smiles, and hushed whispers when we approached. Nothing blatant, just vibes that made you question. But Eleanor Prescott, 3 houses down, was different. Her immaculate lawn and quiet husband, a city councilman, positioned her as the HOA's enforcer. She'd reported us 6 times. Trash cans out too long when Nia was sick, Jaden's basketball hoop, Eli's noisy birthday party ending at 7 p.m., parking violations during family visits, and Nia's vegetable garden. Each complaint, delivered with a fake smile and neighborhood standards spiel, was a calculated jab. At 1 p.m., I collapsed into bed, hearing the kids' laughter as Darius arrived. Our backyard, shielded by a 6-foot fence and safety gate, was secure. From my window, I saw Darius at the patio table, phone in hand, eyes on the kids playing Marco Polo. I set my alarm for 5 p.m. and passed out, unaware Eleanor was about to escalate her petty crusade into something vile. Around 2:17 p.m., she power-walked past, drawn by the kids' laughter. Instead of moving on, she peered through a fence gap I'd meant to fix, saw my black kids swimming with their black uncle, and decided it was a crime. The gate rattled violently. Darius, instincts sharp, told the kids to stay in the shallow end and approached. Before he reached it, Eleanor burst in, fuchsia workout gear blazing, screaming, "Intruders!" her face twisted with fury. "Who are these kids? Where's their parents?" she barked, ignoring Darius and storming toward the pool. At 6 feet 2 inches, Darius blocked her path. "Ma'am, you're trespassing. Leave now." Eleanor pointed at the kids, silent in the water. "These unsupervised kids are screaming, ruining the neighborhood." Darius stayed calm. "I'm their uncle, supervising them. You're on private property. Go." Eleanor clutched her purse, stepping back. "Who are you?" "I know this family, and you don't live here." Her tone dripped suspicion. "I'm Darius Carter, James's brother. James owns this house, and is asleep before his hospital shift. Now leave." Eleanor scoffed. "They've been screaming for hours, lowering property values." Zoe swam closer. "Uncle Darius, why is she mad?" Eleanor snapped. "Proper kids use indoor voices." Darius's eyes narrowed. "Who are you?" "Eleanor Prescott, HOA Vice President," she said, chin high, as if it gave her dominion. "Leave or I call the police," Darius warned. Eleanor smirked. "I already did, for public indecency and disturbance. They're practically naked, and you're unauthorized." The kids wore swim trunks and Zoe's dolphin one-piece in a fenced yard. "They're dressed appropriately, supervised on private property," Darius said. "You're harassing us." Eleanor pulled out her phone, snapping photos of the kids. "I'm documenting for the HOA." Darius stepped in front. "Stop. You don't have permission to photograph minors." She ignored him, claiming evidence. Sirens wailed. Eleanor grinned viciously. "Now we'll see who's right." Darius moved the kids to the shallow end and led Eleanor to the front yard, watching ganging the gate and approaching cruiser. Officer Thomas Reed, a 15-year veteran with graying hair, stepped out, calm but assessing. Eleanor pounced. "Officer, this man's with unsupervised kids causing a disturbance." Darius spoke evenly. I'm Darius Carter, watching my brother's kids in their pool. This woman trespassed and won't leave. Eleanor ranted about noise and indecency. Reed raised a hand. Miss Prescott, you called about a disturbance in a private pool behind a fence? Yes, and he's unauthorized, she spat. Darius showed his military ID. I'm James's brother. James is asleep for his hospital shift. Eleanor interrupted. That doesn't prove he's related. Reed asked, how do you get in the backyard? Eleanor faltered. I heard noise and investigated. So, you entered without permission? She doubled down. As HOA vice president, I have rights. Darius added, she took photos of the kids without consent. Reed's tone shifted. You photograph minors in swimwear for documentation? Eleanor protested. Reed sighed. HOA rules don't override trespassing or privacy laws. Reed inspected the backyard. Secure pool, kids in proper swimwear, no hazards. Looks like kids enjoying summer, he said. To the kids. You okay? Jaden nodded. We were swimming with Uncle Darius. Did we do something wrong? No, son, Reed said. Eleanor insisted. They were screaming. Reed replied, kids playing in daytime isn't a violation. Noise ordinances apply after 11 p.m. Eleanor pointed at Darius. He's unauthorized. Reed was done. He's identified himself. There's no crime here. Darius woke me. Groggy, I stumbled downstairs, finding Reed, Eleanor, and my towel-wrapped kids. Reed explained. Rage built as I heard about the photos. She trespassed, harassed my kids, and photographed them? I asked. That's it, Reed confirmed. I faced Eleanor. You saw black kids swimming and called the cops. She stammered. It's about standards. Reed offered trespassing charges. I paused, aware of my kids watching. Not now, but record her trespassing and photographing minors. Delete those photos. Eleanor complied under Reed's glare. I turned to her. You're banned from my property. Use official channels for complaints. Never approach my kids again. She protested, but Reed cut in. He can bar you. Respect it or face charges. Then Eli, clinging to me, whispered, she called us hood rats and said we don't belong here. The room froze. Darius stepped forward, jaw tight. Reed faced Eleanor, now pale. That's a lie, she shrieked. They're coached. I stayed calm. My kids don't lie. Zoe nodded. She said it when she came in. Jaden added. She called Uncle Darius a random black man. Eleanor stomped her foot. I'm being set up. My husband's on the council. Reed was unmoved. The law applies to everyone. Eleanor stormed to the backyard, phone out, snapping photos. Improper fencing, Reed ordered. Put it down. She ignored him, ranting about condemning the pool. Darius intercepted. Eleanor's heel caught in a deck gap, and she fell backward into the pool with a spectacular splash, shrieking, I can't swim. In chest-deep water. Darius jumped in, guiding her to the steps, but she scratched his face, screaming, Don't touch me. Then she spat in his face. Reed's voice turned icy. That's assault. Eleanor, soaked, claimed, He pushed me. Reed retorted, I saw you fall. I snapped, I'm pressing charges, trespassing, harassment, assault. Eleanor wailed, I'm the victim. Reed radioed for backup. You're under arrest. Handcuffed in her ruined outfit, Eleanor was led to a cruiser, ranting about lawsuits. Neighbors gawked. Reed told me to file statements at the station. With my shift looming, Darius said, Go. I'll handle it. I hugged the kids, assuring them they did nothing wrong. Ms. Prescott's problem was her prejudice, not you. Eli asked, Do we have to move? I hugged him. No, buddy. This is home. At the hospital, I told my colleague Maya the story. She spat in his face, she gasped. Some people can't stand us thriving. During a break, Darius texted. Eleanor was out on bail, her husband, Councilman Robert Prescott, pulling strings. The kids' video statements were damning. The next morning, Darius showed me his research. Eleanor targeted minority families with fines, while Robert's standards campaign was a dog whistle. "This is justice, not revenge," Darius said. "We're suing for harassment and discrimination." I hesitated, my shifts, the kids, but Darius was right. This was for the next Black family. We met attorney David Monroe, who built a case, selective enforcement emails, plots to deter minorities, and Eleanor's doorbell camera audio catching her hood rats slur sealed it. Neighbors reacted variably, some supportive, others loyal to the Presots glared. Robert confronted me at the community pool. "A misunderstanding," he claimed. I shot back. "Your wife used racist slurs and assaulted my brother." He threatened, "I have connections." I smiled. That's a great addition to our lawsuit. The audio leaked, forcing Eleanor's HOA resignation. Robert skipped campaign events. At the August HOA meeting, Judge Alicia Morgan, my neighbor, led a reform slate. I ran for vice president. The packed clubhouse voted out the old guard. Alicia became president, I vice president, with diverse board members. We renamed the newsletter Cedar Grove Unity, started a welcome committee, and mandated fair enforcement. Eleanor pleaded guilty to trespassing and assault, receiving community service and diversity training. The civil suit settled, damages, legal fees, and Robert's council resolution for HOA anti-discrimination rules. Robert lost re-election. The settlement funded college accounts, legal costs, and a community repair fund. The Presots sold their house to a Latino family, welcomed warmly. At a multicultural winter festival, replacing the old Christmas contest, families shared traditions, tamales, Diwali lights, my sweet potato pie. Alicia toasted. The pool incident united us. In April, Evelyn Brooks, an elderly Black woman whose father built in Cedar Grove in 1962, visited, showing a 1965 photo of Black kids in a tub in my yard. "You finished what my father started," she said. Her grandkids swam in our pool that summer, laughter echoing where dreams once deferred now thrived. The Presots moved away, their influence gone. Cedar Grove became a model for inclusive communities, with Alicia and me overseeing transparent bylaws. The lawsuit's impact spurred Savannah to pass citywide HOA reforms, ensuring no family would face Eleanor's prejudice again. My kids swam freely, Jaden teaching Eli to dive, Zoe perfecting her backstroke. Darius visited often, joking about his pool rescue fame. Evelyn's family joined our barbecues, and Cedar Grove's unity grew stronger. The fight was over, the neighborhood transformed, and our home stood as a beacon of justice and belonging.